I still have the pictures. I kept them because my brother Joe's like, you got to give the pictures back. You got to go tell Dad what he did. I go, I'm not telling Dad because he's going to make me give the pictures back. I go, I deserve these. So I never told my parents. Because my mom would have said, you have to give the pictures back, whatever. Who knows what would have happened. But I was like, fuck that. I got great pictures.
And he was never seen again?
No, he was never seen again. I heard, someone sent me a picture of him.
Wow. He's still alive?
He's living in Thailand. We found.
Oh yeah. That's where you go when you just want to fuck little kids.
Yeah, he's still in Thailand. But this picture of Ivan Koloff with the belt, he told me, he goes, if you give me a kiss in the cheek, this picture is going to be worth a lot because he was only the champ for like 9 days. He goes, this is really rare. This is going to be worth a ton of money one day. So I gave him the kiss on the cheek. I looked it up like 5 years ago. It's worth 9 cents.
Now, Ivan Koloff, he was the champ till they just made Bruno Sammartino the champ after that, right?
Well, wasn't that won the belt in between Bruno? The thing with Madison Square Garden, there was so many Italians that loved Bruno Sammartino because he was Italian that he had the belt for like 8 years because he could sell out the Garden every month, and all these Italian men would go, including my dad. So they had to keep him as champ because if they had another guy in there,
they wouldn't go.
It'd be like when Bob Backlund was the champ a couple years later, it would be a half a house every time. So Vince McMahon Sr. told Bruno, you got to be the champ. You got a big Italian following. After 9 years, Bruno goes, I don't want the belt anymore. I'm too tired. I'm beat up. So I'm giving up the belt. But he told me that in 9 cents this thing is worth. He lied to me. He told me it was going to be worth a lot. I thought this was going to be like a Mickey Mantle rookie card.
We'll have to make it an NFT. We'll make it an NFT and fucking sell it, and then the price will go up on Ivan fucking whatever his name is.
But you don't understand, Joey. When I told this story on Howard Stern, I had at least 20 different people contact me, guys, and told me the same exact story, what he did it to them too, all over the country. And one guy sent me a picture of him. I'll show you next time you come over. I don't want to show it on here just in case, legally or whatever, but I'll show you what the guy looked like.
That is just amazing. And, it's funny because somebody else would have turned this around. This would have been like a crutch for somebody. Like we had Puerto Rican Nelson. He would play football with us with a robe with no underwear on. We knew he was a fucking pedophile.
Right.
So we could either avoid him or use him. So we used him. He liked to play football and shit like that. He had a great arm. So we went out there knowing that he was a pedophile. And then he'd go, if I do this, are you guys going to come over afterward? Fuck yeah. We'll be over in fucking 5 minutes. We'll put our robes on too with no underwear on. And then Mrs. Softy would come and he would get all excited, buy us ice cream, and then we would tell him to suck our dick. Get the fuck out of here. We're not going to your backyard, you pervert motherfucker. And then he would do it again 2 weeks later. It was a constant thing. Like he would think that we forgot that he was a fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
And there were a couple reports in the neighborhood. I really never confirmed them, but it's so weird. Like, if this was California, your parents would have called the cops, your brothers, everybody. Here in Jersey, we just handle it a different way. We hit them with newspapers, and we fucking, we torment their lives. With Nelson, I can't remember what happened to him, but I'm sure that we tortured him until he fucking left because that was our style. Eggs, light your fucking, your welcome carpet. You know how many of those I lit on fire at his house? We would just throw fucking lighting fluid and light his fucking welcome sign on fire. Once we knew he was a pedophile, he couldn't fuck with us,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, we just, the guy pretty much disappeared from there. But yeah, I mean, who knew back then? Like our parents will let us hang out with the priest too. Go camping with them. Go away from him on a weekend. You need another, adult male in your life. He'll teach you the right way and shit like that. That shit happened all the time. I mean, I was an altar boy, all that stuff. I never went away with the priest, but the priest in our town where I grew up, the Catholic school I went to, they shipped him out. They found that he did some dirty shit. Another priest in there, they found that he did some dirty shit too. So, but our parents trusted us. You trusted those people, including the wrestling picture guy, thinking, he's a little weird, but whatever. You didn't think that shit back then. That's why the parents let the kids hang out with the priests and stuff.
How are we as parents? We don't trust nobody.
No, there's no way.
Like you and I, they know. Like, listen, you can tell whatever story you want. And I'll warn you too. Like, listen, I know you. I know what you're doing. I know that you're a fucking pedophile, and if you fucking touch her, I'm gonna hit you in the head with a brick. Like, you just, as a parent now, you look at it and you're like, you see, I see it. I see the walk. I see the talk. It's tough to be a pedophile now. It's not like the fucking. Well, now they're on the computer. So you got to watch what your kids bust into. I thought about it. My dream in life is to definitely bust into a Zoom meeting with my ball sack. I just don't know how to hack into a city town council board meeting when people are yelling about zoning a Chinese church, and I just take a picture of my balls and say, "Fuck you, cocksuckers! Don't put no church." I'm dying to do that. I just don't know how to be a hacker. I don't know. I don't fucking know. So anyway, I don't even know how I got on that.
Rumor about it. Like my one brother, he always says he's got the daughter. You know which one I'm talking about, and he's already he says to his daughter, "Hey, if she's like 12, hey, if some guy pulls up in a van that you don't know, what do you do?" She goes, "Get in the van with them." And his mother goes, "Stop saying that, my sister. Don't say that. Get in the van with him." Like, just
you got, I think that, like, for me, I got to be very, very, like, I was watching Summer of Sam on your recommendation, and I think episode 3, they talk about the guy that was very Catholic, that he lived close to the church, so they always called him when an altar boy didn't show up. Listen, I could lift my right hand to God. I wasn't an altar boy because I didn't like all the work, and there was no cash in it. If not, I would have became an altar boy.
Joey, if you did a funeral, they would give you cash. Like if you were an altar boy at a funeral. So we'd always fight to do what we could do to funerals.
Yeah, but how much cash? Like a 5 or a 10?
$10. But
go fuck yourself. I could work bingo and steal 40 and make fucking 40 on a Sunday night from 6 to 9. So fuck that shit. I'm going to fucking go in there with that pedophile smoke and help him distribute that shit in church. Fuck you. I knew early on that I loved my priest. Listen, I still remember my priest that did the Holy Communion. He was a fucking G. The priest that did my first wedding, was a G. He was into coke. He knew all about drugs and shit. We talked about it. He lived in San Francisco. And the guy that made my confirmation was this Father Tom, the same guy that did that. And there was no pedophilia with these guys. I checked them out. I tested them. I would take a ball out in front of them and see if they would react. You got to test them and shit like that. But no, I never had a negative experience with the Catholic Church. I feel bad for people who did. I did have a negative experience with the Boy Scouts of America.
Yeah.
That I knew. I knew they were creepy.